So the answer you're looking for there is recipient.
Ok.
Et comme en anglais, comme en français, le mot c'est destinataire.
Euh, recipient?
Yes.
Ok. My uncle, uh, well, I don't Wally visit us.
What are we talking about now? Number.
Ah,
My uncle rarely visits us. Yes, correct. Rarely. Then 24, please.
the survey suggests that stock will go um, up today.
Yes. Yes, very good. Stocks will go up today. Um, Moving on to 25.
The manager spoke co- confidently to the
Yes,
executive.
adverb confidently to the executives. Very wonderful. 26.
Uh, my wife has got very heavy schedule this week.
Hmm. Ta réponse c'est quoi?
B.
Okay, my wife has got very heavy schedule. My wife has got very heavy. Yes, that's correct. 27.
Um, uh, no. Okay. The recession has heavily affected the smaller shops.
Oui, c'est ça. Suivant.
Uh, okay. You need to cut off.
No.
Uh,
L'expression dans le langage médical, c'est cut down on.
uh,
You need to cut down on sugar.
you need to cut down on fatty foods.
Good.
Cut down on.
On va s'arrêter à numéro 30 pour faire d'autres choses.
Okay. Um, okay. Bon, ça j'ai toujours pas. This is the positions for which
Exactly.
uh 29.
Yes, very correct. You got it right.
Chanson. All compositions um must be submit by tomorrow. By tomorrow.
Voix passive.
Ah oui, doivent être. Ok. Bah submitted. Non.
Yes, submitted.
Le passif. C'est bon.
Oui, ça va, pardon. Pardon, ça va. Okay, so now we're going to move on to what were the things we did yesterday? Let me turn this off so the tab is gone, and I'll move on to um, notre conversation d'hier. Ta, ta, ta. Okay. On the other hand, in my opinion, da, da, explore, no, not that. Mm-hmm. Where is the song? Okay, yes, your reading and question practice and da da da. Okay, yes, found it. Alternative center open. We've done all of that yesterday. Practice tests. So the global design competition. We've done this before.
Yes.
Yes, but I want to see how quickly you can get the response this time.
Oui.
Donc on l'a déjà fait.
I genre, ah oui, mais j'ai refait. I remember the answers.
You remember the answers?
Yes.
Okay. I will look for something long. Okay. Okay, this is a lot shorter. Total distance, price per person. This one we're filling the table as well. So we're just going to do this.
Voilà.
Okay, you can play it from your side.
Conversation.
4 questions. Okay. Tu as lu les questions d'abord?
Non.
Ok.
Non.
Il faut prendre du temps pour lire les questions.
Oula. Ok.
You have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
So, how many days are the trips and how much do they cost?
The first one I told you about is a self-drive tour through California, which lasts 12 days and covers 2,020 kilometers. The shortest journey is 206 kilometers, and the longest is 632 kilometers. The cost is £525 per person. That includes accommodation, car rental, and a flight, but no meals.
Okay. And the other trip?
That lasts 9 days, but you spend only 3 days on the road. You cover about 980 kilometers altogether.
So is that cheaper then?
Yes, it's almost £100 cheaper. It's £429 per person, which is a good deal.
So that covers accommodation and car hire. What about flights?
They aren't included, but these hotels offer dinner in the price.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'll be in touch when I've had a chance to look at the brochure.
I'm pleased to help. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
J'ai mis. Ouais, bon, alors franchement, pour être parfait, j'aurais dû réécouter, mais bon, puisqu'on n'a pas le droit.
Mm-hmm.
The first answer is. J'ai mis. Alors, je suis chiant, mais c'est ça. J'ai mis 220.
220.
Ouais. C'est pas ça?
Il faut être sûr, c'est 220 ou c'est 2020?
Ah, oui, c'est peut-être 2020 en fait. Oui, c'est. Bon, ah oui, c'est possible. Ok, mais c'est pas logique. Bon, ouais. Le deuxième, j'ai mis flight.
Ok, oui, c'est bon.
Troisième, j'ai mis 490. Je sais pas sûr.
Ok. Combien?
490.
490, 480. Non, 490. Non, ce n'est pas 404.
Ah,
Mais tu peux me le dire en anglais. Tu sais que c'est coup d'anglais.
Ok. Bah, 4090, donc c'est faux.
490. No, it's not 490.
And for the last answer is dinner.
Dinner is very correct. So now we're going to listen again to find the answer to number 9.
Okay.
So you just go back a little.
Cheaper then.
Yes, and only 3 days on the road. You cover about 980 kilometres altogether.
So is that cheaper then?
Yes, it's almost £100 cheaper. It's £429 per person, which is a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that covers accommodation.
Okay.
So that's very good. £429 per person.
No?
Yes, 429. Do you have difficulties with numbers in English?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna add that to the notes. Numbers in English.
29.
Kilometres altogether.
So is that cheaper then?
Yes, it's almost £100 cheaper. It's £429 per person.
Okay, and to tell the time as well, pour dire l'heure, c'est facile pour toi en anglais ou pas?
J'ai déjà posé la question.
Oui, j'ai déjà posé la question et j'ai déjà noté, mais j'aimerais juste confirmer parce qu'il y a aussi, j'ai constaté aussi que les années en français, les années en anglais posent aussi une difficulté.
Ouais, disons que si je réfléchis, ça passe, mais ça doit pas être rapide.
Ok, alors je peux dire peut-être presque tout ce qui concerne les chiffres en anglais. Ok. I sent another short one for listening.
Donc c'est.
So look at the questions.
Ah, oui, d'accord. For the name. Ah non, d'accord, on commence un autre truc. Ok, rien vu. Who's the donkey to cross
You have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
Now, what would you like me to do?
Firstly, and most urgently, is in the kitchen. With all the weather damage, the glass in the door has cracked, and I'd need that fixing.
I presume you mean replacing.
Oh, yes, and as soon as possible.
What I'll do is come round tomorrow morning and do that immediately.
Oh, thank you so much. The other things aren't so urgent, but,
Now, I'll make a note of everything you want doing.
well, in the kitchen, I'd like some painting doing.
All the kitchen walls?
Just the area over the cooker. It's very greasy.
Right, it does tend to get that way.
Yes.
Well, if you want a proper job done, what I need to do is strip the old paint and plaster it about a week before I paint it.
Of course. Now, May tells me you also do work in the garden.
That's right.
Well, I'd like you to replace a fence.
Just one.
Yes, at the far end.
Fine, shouldn't be a problem.
And that's the lot.
Fine. Yeah, as I say, I can come round tomorrow morning to look over things with you.
Well, that's great. Thank you.
So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Okay.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Okay.
Okay, so let me hear your responses. Let me hear your answers.
First one, glass.
Glass is the correct answer.
For the 8, cooker.
Cooker is the correct answer. Yes.
For the 9, week.
Week is perfect.
And for the 10, it's not correct. It's fence.
Fence is very correct. Why did you say it's not correct? Pourquoi t'as dit que ce n'est pas?
Puisque je sais pas ce que c'est. J'ai juste entendu le mot, mais je sais pas ce que c'est.
Ah. Okay. Okay. So fence c'est comme le mur qui divise comment dirais-je? Par exemple, tu as un appartement et tu as un voisin. Il y a juste ce petit mur fait de n'importe quoi pour diviser et pour marquer que ça c'est ton territoire.
Ok. Ok. D'accord. Comment ça s'écrit?
F-E-N-C-E.
Ah.
En français, c'est une clôture. Comme
Ah,
peut-être tu peux avoir un jardin et une clôture pour le jardin. Ou bien tu peux juste mettre une clôture autour de ton bâtiment pour montrer que ça c'est pour éviter des personnes qui, comment dirais-je, comment on dit trespassers en anglais, pour éviter l'intrusion des inconnus. Oui. So that's which screen am I sharing? Okay. Let's see this. I hope this works. Okay, so here we have 10 questions. In the next one, we have 10 questions, and you're going to listen for 6 minutes. Is that okay? So take a good moment to look at the questions before we start.
Sure.
J'ai envoyé 10 questions.
Section 4. You will hear a university lecture about an endangered bear in British Columbia, Canada, known as the spirit bear. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40. Today, we continue our series on ecology and conservation with a look at a particularly endangered member of the black bear family. 1 in 10 black bears is actually born with a white coat, which is the result of a special gene that surfaces in a few. Local people have named it the spirit bear, and according to the legends of these communities, its snowy fur brings with it a special power. Because of this, it has always been highly regarded by them, so much that they do not speak of seeing it to anyone else. It is their way of protecting it when strangers visit the area. The white bear's habitat is quite interesting. The bear's strong relationship with the old-growth rainforest is a complex one. The white bear relies on the huge, centuries-old trees in the forest in many ways. For example, the old-growth trees have extremely long roots that help prevent erosion of the soil along the banks of the many fish streams. Keeping these banks intact is important because these streams are home to salmon, which are the bear's main food source. In return, the bear's feeding habits nurture the forest. As the bears eat the salmon, they discard the skin and bones in great amounts on the forest floor, which provide vital nutrients. These produce lush vegetation that sustains thousands of other types of life forms, from birds to insects and more. Today, the spirit bear lives off the coast of the province of British Columbia on a few islands. There is great concern for their survival, since it is estimated that less than 200 of these white bears remain. The best way to protect them is to make every effort to preserve the delicate balance of their forest environment. In other words, their ecosystem. The greatest threat to the bear's existence is the loss of its habitat. Over many years, logging companies have stripped the land by cutting down a large number of trees. In addition, they have built roads which have fractured the areas where the bear usually feeds, and many hibernation sites have also been lost. The logging of the trees along the streams has damaged the places where the bears fish. To make matters worse, the number of salmon in those streams is declining because there is no legal limit on fishing at the moment. All these influences have a negative impact on the spirit bear's very existence, which is made all the more fragile by the fact that reproduction among these bears has always been disappointingly low. And so, what's the situation going forward? Community organizations environmental groups, and the British Columbia government are now working together on the problem. The government is now requiring logging companies to adopt a better logging method, which is a positive step. However, these measures alone may not be sufficient to ensure a healthy population of the spirit bear in the future. Other steps also need to be taken. While it is important to maintain the spirit bear's habitat, there also needs to be more emphasis on its expansion. The move is justified as it will also create space for other bears that are losing their homes.
Okay.
That is the end of section 4.
Non, c'est... Voilà, c'est bancal, là. Là, c'est bancal.
Ok. Ce n'est pas du tout intéressant, non?
Bah, ouais, bah ça va, non, c'est marrant les autres. Oui, bon, j'ai pas trop réussi, je crois. Vraiment, bof. Hein. C'est bon.
Ok. Ok. Est-ce qu'on peut réviser les réponses ensemble? Tes réponses.
Ok, je vais. Mais
C'est pas grave.
Ok.
But I also think that this listening was slower than the others.
Ouais,
Yeah, it was slow. Okay, so let's hear your number 31, right?
J'aime.
Jean, yes.
Power.
Yes, power.
Ouais, ça va dégringoler, hein, je vois.
Ok.
Et là, par exemple, je sais pas. Je sais pas.
Ok, 33, je vais noter. On continue.
Le 3, je sais pas.
Ok.
Ouais, non.
Ok, 34.
Alors, j'ai mis... Je sais pas non plus.
Ok, 35.
J'ai mis Iceland.
Islands, yes.
Genre île, quoi.
Oui.
Ensuite, j'ai mis... genre, honnêtement... tout le 3, j'étais paumée. La troisième partie, vraiment, en fait, j'étais perdue parce qu'il a parlé ultra longuement du 2. Du coup, je savais plus où j'étais dans le 3 et j'étais paumée, quoi. Vraiment, je savais
Ok.
pas. Et le
Alors,
4,
tu n'as pas de réponse. You don't have an answer for 36.
Non.
Et 37?
Attends, c'est quoi 7 and 8. Les deux derniers, par contre, je les ai.
Ok.
C'est reproduction. Et attends, putain, j'ai mis plus le mot. Comment on dit attendez, on dit. Attends, c'est expansion. Expansions. Mais par contre, le grand 3. Voilà. Bon, c'est pas une réussite.
So 40, you have 40 as expansions.
Expansion.
And then for 39, you don't have 39.
Ah si, reproduction. Non.
Reproduction, c'est 39.
Ah oui. Bah non.
38, c'est reproduction.
Non, en fait, je sais pas. Non, vraiment, les 3.
Ok, on va écouter ensemble.
Ok.
C'est bon? Ok, let's go.
Section 4. You will hear a unit. We continue our series on. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40. Today, we continue our series on ecology and conservation with a look at a particularly endangered member of the black bear family.
Mhm.
1 in 10 black bears is actually born with a white coat, which is the result of a special gene that surfaces in a few. Local people have named it the spirit bear, and according to the legends of these communities, its snowy fur brings with it a special power.
Power.
Because of this, it has always been highly regarded by them, so much that they do not speak of seeing it to anyone else. It is their way of protecting it when strangers visit the area.
Strangers.
The white bear's habitat is quite interesting. The bear's strong relationship with the old-growth rainforest is a complex one. The white bear relies on the huge, centuries-old trees in the forest in many ways. For example, the old-growth trees have extremely long roots that help prevent erosion of the soil along
Erosion.
the banks of the many fish streams.
On va discuter après.
Ah, d'accord.
Erosion, c'est quand c'est un déluge, je crois, et il y a de l'eau qui détruit les choses, mais avec les racines de ce dont on parle maintenant, with the roots, it stops erosion.
Ok.
Okay.
Keeping
Continue.
these banks intact is important because these streams are home to salmon, which are the bear's main food source. In return, the bear's feeding habits nurture the forest.
Erosion.
As the bears eat the salmon, they discard the skin and bones in great amounts on the forest floor, which provide vital nutrients. These produce lush vegetation that sustains thousands of other types of life forms, from birds to insects and more.
Mm.
Today, the spirit bear lives off the coast of the province of British Columbia on a few islands. There is great concern for their survival, since it is estimated that less than 200 of these white bears remain. The best way to protect them is to make every effort to preserve the delicate balance of their forest environment.
Mhm.
In other words, their ecosystem. The greatest threat to the bear's existence is the loss of its habitat. Over many years, logging companies have stripped the land by cutting down a large number of trees. In addition, they have built roads which have
Roads.
fractured
Ah,
the
d'accord.
areas where the bear usually feeds,
Okay.
and many hibernation sites have also been lost. The logging of the trees along the streams has damaged the places where the bears fish. To make matters worse, the number of salmon in those streams is declining because there is no legal limit on fishing at the moment.
Okay. Fishing.
These practices have a negative impact.
Ok. Ici, c'est question de synonyme.
Ok,
On
Est-ce
me-
est-ce que c'est genre pour la 36 c'est route, genre roads,
Roads, we said roads.
et
Roads.
pour la 37 c'est places,
Pour quel numéro?
37.
37, c'est fishing. On a parlé de unrestricted.
Ok.
La question, c'est unrestricted. Mais quand tu écoutes, c'est sans limite. There is no legal limit. Si quelque chose n'a pas de limite, on dit que il n'y a pas de restriction.
Ok. Pardon. Ouais.
So, la réponse, c'est unrestricted fishing.
Ok. Et pour le 35, j'ai mis insecte, mais bon, c'est pas ça, je pense.
35, c'est island, oui.
Ah oui, je crois que je suis venue en plus dans le truc.
Et 38, c'est... On va écouter 38 bientôt.
Ok.
Act on the spirit bear's very existence, which is made all the more fragile by the fact that reproduction among these bears has always been disappointingly low.
Oui, c'est ici que tu vas mettre reproduction.
Situation
Quoi?
C'est dans 38 que tu vas mettre reproduction, ce qui vient de dire maintenant. C'est,
Ah ouais.
oui, c'est à 38.
Ah d'accord, moi je mets dans 39, ça c'est juste. Ok.
Okay, so continue 39, 39.
Forward. Community organizations, environmental groups, and the British Columbia government are now working together on the problem. The government is now requiring logging companies to adopt a better logging method, which is a positive step.
Ah, c'est méthode.
Oui, c'est méthode.
Ok. Ok. Ah oui, pardon, excuse-moi.
Alone may not be sufficient to ensure a healthy population of the spirit bear in the future. Other steps also need to be taken. While it is important to maintain the spirit bear's habitat, there also needs to be more emphasis on its expansion.
Mhm.
The move is justified as it will also create space for other bears that are losing their homes. That is the end
Élargissement.
of section 4.
T'as capté le dernier.
Oui, mais j'avais déjà dit donc.
Expansion.
Oui.
Ok, oui, 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 tu l'as déjà dit. Pardon, tu l'as déjà dit. Ok, so maintenant on va faire writing, mais avant de faire writing, j'ai déjà envoyé le lien à l'exercice. Mais avant de faire ça, j'aimerais qu'on étudie un peu comment exprimer. Je vais t'envoyer le lien, pardon. Oui, je vais t'envoyer le document. Mais avant de l'envoyer, j'aimerais qu'on étudie ensemble.
Ok.
Ok. No, I can find it. Let me see. This is it. So let me open it. If I can't open it, I'll just send it to you. So let me just send it to you because I don't want us to waste time on this. You are my garden, I am your servant. Graph. Your mercy flows down, I don't. Coucou. Clôture fence, oui. So I understand how it might be challenging. So I understand how it might be challenging to write in to write all this important information in English because I do j'ai des cours en français. I have some courses in French, some business courses, some law courses, droit de la vente et en français. And it can be very difficult. En étudiant, c'est facile. Quand je suis en train de réviser, c'est facile. Mais dans la salle d'examen, j'ai besoin de plus de temps pour mettre mes pensées et ce que j'ai déjà révisé sur le papier. Parce que c'est pas ma langue et c'est un sujet, comment dirais-je, il y a beaucoup de présentations d'informations et tout ça. C'est pour ça que j'ai créé ce document.
Ok.
So that you can look at it, pour comparer les données, pour décrire ce qui se passe, pour comparer les années, ok, pour comparer s'il y a c'est une hausse, s'il y a un montant qui est diminué et tout ça, and also to compare demographics.
Ok. période de déclin over les include decrease the number of okay.
Okay. So if you check the messenger, I've sent you a link,
Okay.
and we're going to work on that writing test.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so let me just talk briefly on it before, since I've already sent you the PDF and how this relates. Home tab. Where is the stuff I'm sharing? Present now. Okay, good. Here we are. So for this document, we're comparing visits to two music sites on the web. So here we have the graph, okay?
Yeah.
And you have to look for the code, the clues, les indices. Ici, c'est choix de musique. Choix de musique, c'est bleu. Ça,
Oui.
oui, je pense que c'est tendance en français. So that's the blue one here.
Okay.
And pop parade, c'est l'autre, okay? So we're going to compare the numbers going from 0 to 180 on the left here, and the horizontal bar, we have 1 to 15. So let's read out loud. The graph below compares the number of visits to two new music sites on the web. Write a report for a university lecturer describing the information shown below. Aujourd'hui, comme première fois qu'on fait cet exercice, je ne m'attends pas à quelque chose de très excellent, mais je veux juste voir comment tu peux présenter tes pensées et comment tu peux représenter l'information avec les mots, d'accord?
D'accord.
Okay, tu peux aussi utiliser l'information que je viens d'envoyer par PDF. Je ne m'attends pas aussi que tu sois déjà très, comment dirais-je, conversant. I don't expect you to be very conversant or very fluent with the information I just sent to you, but I just want to see how you can put this in practice, and then I'll do some revision, okay?
Ouais, ok.
And feel free to ask me questions. Ce n'est pas l'examen de Ielts.
Oh,
Okay.
ok. Alors,
Ok, pour beaucoup plus de clarté, pardon, voilà le site. La ligne verticale
oui.
représente le nombre de visites,
Ah, oui, oui.
alors que la ligne horizontale représente, comment dirais-je, les journées
Les gelées.
Les, les jours, the days.
Ah, d'accord.
Yeah. I want to speak more English.
Ok, alors. Oui. Ok.
I don't know how to reply. Pardon, c'est pas toi, pardon. Sorry guys, I don't know how to reply on YouTube live. So I'm gonna check it out. I see some videos I'm supposed to watch. I'm still new to this whole live thing. Let me put a filter. Oh yeah, with the filter I look cuter. There's really not much difference with the filter. Oh, with light I look different. Light and filter. Light and no filter. Okay, so I think I don't know how to reply, but I really want to reply. But I'm not even sure how to. I've been clicking on all your comments, but all I see is this. I don't see an option to reply. So I'm going to watch those videos and then I'm going to reply. But in the meantime, I'll go to your channel and reply you on any of your videos so you see it. I can't see who the second person viewing is, but I want to say thank you Getting just one viewer is a big deal here on this platform. I want to see how I can make the class more interactive by providing you a view of the screen, because we have a lot going on the screen, so it's not very interesting when you're just watching my face, like just watching my face and listening to me. it, English class has to have a lot more pictures and stuff going on. So I'll try to think of how to make the presentation more interactive. Maybe I have to use my table so you can see my laptop and you can see everything very clearly. And I'll probably take it off my face so you're watching just my laptop. Hi Aisha, thank you so much. You've been watching all these days. I don't know how to reply you, but I will. I'll click on one of your videos and I will send you a reply. Yeah. Anytime you're tired of watching, you can do other things. Really, I'm not even going to be upset because I don't even know. I don't know if you're enjoying this because I'm not showing you my screen, but I hope to show you my screen soon. So right now we're preparing for IELTS exam and we're preparing for IELTS academic. So now we're doing writing. So I'm teaching her how to present information. Like we're learning about comparing data, higher than, twice as much as, declined, peaked at, remains stable, shows a downward trend, shows an upward trend, almost the same as, shows a significant difference, is equal to, is lower than, is higher than, because sometimes you may be asked to compare the consumption of fish between two demographics, and you might be asked to compare, like here we're comparing the data for a music website, number of listeners. So for this kind of question in IELTS, especially IELTS writing, you have to have the right words to present that information, because you lose points when you're not able to present the information like a native, because the objective of IELTS is not really to test your intelligence, it's just to test your ability to use the English language to communicate. So for other learners, for other types of the other type of IELTS, you might be given a picture, to describe what's going on in the picture. And there are other exams like that, like TOEIC, but for IELTS, IELTS academic, they're usually giving data to represent in words. So I have to go back to my class now, and I don't know where my student is at, but we have to continue, because time is precious. So we have to continue with the class, and it doesn't have to be perfect because today is the first day we're attempting writing. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to end this in when it's 1 hour. That's in 6 minutes. Bye. I'm gonna turn off the lights, even though I like it. Just like prefer this ambience. And I'm gonna turn on the filter. No, turn on the filter. Ça se passe bien? Oh, I muted myself. How's it going? Ça se passe bien? Ça se passe bien? Oui, non?
Bon, pas parfait, mais on va dire que ça passe.
Ok. So while my student is working on the essay, I'm working on an essay to send to her, but in my essay, I'm highlighting terminologies like highest points, consistently received, experienced fluctuations, notable peaks and declines, modest start, in contrast, peaking at 120,000 on day 12, surpassed, okay, visits fell sharply afterwards, ending at, okay, fell sharply. In summary, so I'm just trying to give her, like, okay, with this. Okay. Are you ready? Okay, let's do it. Here's a simple song I write. I wanna sing it note for note.
Ouais, j'ai un trou. Je sais pas si c'est bien.
Ok, tu peux me l'envoyer. Okay, have you sent it? I'll send you mine too. Simple response safe. It's writing with love sent to Hannah.
Quoi?
Non, non, je vais t'envoyer un.
C'est pas ça, c'est que ça a envoyé un truc. Voilà.
Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. It's just very hard for me to. I don't know. Not like I don't know how to reply on the YouTube chats yet, but I'm going to learn. You know, I just started YouTube Live like 2 or 3 days ago, so it's something I'm trying to get used to. We'll have a blue Christmas without you. It'll be so blue thinking about you. You'll be doing alright with the Christmas of white. But I'll have a blue Christmas. That's a good song I need to listen to again. You don't know nothing. It is so not easy to do this live thing because you don't even get views sometimes. Like nobody's even watching. You're just there like, okay, let's just put it on the internet. So we have it on the internet.
Ok, c'est bon.
Ok, c'est bon. Quelles sont tes réponses?
Pour la première, j'ai mis. Pour la première, j'ai mis 4.
Ok. Oui, c'est 4. Ah non.
C'est pas. Deuxième, j'ai mis 8.
Wow. Ok.
Quatrième, j'ai mis. Non, troisième, j'ai mis 7.
Oui, c'est 7.
Ah. Après, j'ai mis. J'ai mis 1. Ça, je crois que c'est.
Numéro 4, oui, c'est 1.
Ok. 5, j'ai mis 6.
Wow, ok. C'était très facile pour toi alors.
6, j'ai mis 3.
Oh, un peu. On va réviser ensemble.
Ah, d'accord. Facile. 6. Non, c'est pas. Ok. Ok. Je dis quand même ce que j'ai mis au 7.
Qu'est-ce que tu as mis au 7?
J'ai mis 9.
Ok. Ce n'est pas correct, mais on continue.
Ok.
Ok. On va réviser numéro 6 et numéro 7 ensemble. Ça arrive souvent que l'étudiant fait beaucoup plus d'attention pour les premières questions et à la fin, parce que le paragraphe c'est trop long. Les dernières réponses ne sont pas aussi justes que les premières. Mais c'est pas grave, ok? On va réviser ensemble. Bon, maintenant, la question. The questions for 6 and 7. Six is six. Six is six. Changes and drifting habits in Britain.
Est-ce que pour l'avant-dernier, c'est du genre.
Est-ce que c'est quoi?
Est-ce que pour l'avant-dernier, c'est genre la comparaison, c'est genre.
C'est
C'est le 9? Non?
C'est le 6.
Ah, c'est le 6?
Oui. Paragraph F. McFarlane looked to Japan, which was also developing large cities about the same time. Okay, tea was relatively blah blah blah. Water had to be boiled together with the stomach purifying properties of tea. Pushed contention for a revolution. So he was talking about changes in drinking habits. Waterborne diseases had much looser grip on the Japanese population than those in Britain. Could it be the prevalence of tea in their culture, providing an extraordinary confidence of dates? Tea was relatively expensive until Britain started a direct clipper trade with China. About that time, infant mortality was dipping. Continue. Breast milk was healthier than it had ever been. Nor the European nations sipped tea like the British, which by McFarlane's logic pushed these other countries out of contention for the revolution. Okay? I don't think it's tea. And number 7, let me see. Paragraph G is about okay. So can you read paragraph G out loud, please? Let me just hear you read.
But yeah, but if tea is a factor in the combination lock, why didn't Japan forge ahead in a tea soft industrial revolution of its own? McFarlane, not then even thought.
Dough, come yet. Dough.
Donuts.
Dough. Yes, even though.
Okay. 17th century, Japan had large cities, quite little wealthy rates, even a futures market. It had turned its back on the essence of any work-based revolution by giving up labor-saving devices such as animals, afraid that they would put people out of work.
Okay.
So,
Arrête, s'il te plaît. Arrête là-bas. Afraid that they would put people out of work. Peur que plusieurs personnes seront en chômage.
ah d'accord, putain, c'est le... Ah d'accord, c'est bon. C'est le 2.
Oui. Oui, c'est ça.
Non.
Ok. Very well done. Je vais faire une petite correction. Work-based, parce que c'est anglais. Parce que c'est anglais, c'est work-based.
Bon, essayons de traduire. Mais si le thé est un facteur dans la diminution de la qualité de je vais pas.
Tu as vu ce que je suis en train de t'expliquer pour la prononciation? Coucou. Oh, my sound went off again. Coucou, tu es là?
Ah.
Tu as vu ce que je suis en train d'expliquer pour la prononciation work-based? Work-based, paragraph G in English. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, line 6. À la fin de line 6, on the essence of any work-based revolution.
Ouais.
Parce que tu as dit work-based.
Work-based. Okay.
Yes, base c'est français. By giving up labor-saving devices. Very, very good. Okay.
Du coup, c'est la 2.
Du coup, c'est quoi?
C'est la 2.
Oui, oui, c'est 2. C'est 2, oui, 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 c'est 2. Okay. The fear of unemployment for paragraph G.
Il y a tellement d'infos que je sais pas quoi. C'est horrible. C'est trop long. C'est pas bon.
I'm so sorry. That's really how it is. Okay. Il y a beaucoup de... Ils vont utiliser des synonymes plusieurs fois. Et c'est leur truc, en fait. Here we have fear of unemployment. Well, in the text, we have afraid that... Where is it? Afraid that they would put people out of work. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I hope you have had a wonderful. Oh, on a fini? Déjà? Okay. I hope you learned something today. And for your work, I'm going to revise your work, review your work, and then we'll do it this evening. But don't worry. And on n'a pas cool dimanche. Alors dimanche, tu peux utiliser dimanche pour réviser. Je peux vérifier sur France 24, CNN, BBC pour chercher des informations sur les tendances. I'll get you information on graphs so that you can study how information from graphs are being transformed into words. Okay, how visualized data is being transformed into words, so that for the next practice, for the first one you did today, pour moi je dirais que c'est bon, que ce n'est pas parfait, ce n'est pas excellent, mais comme première fois, c'est bon, ok?
Ok.
Alors t'inquiète. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Juste pour cet après-midi, est-ce qu'on pourrait genre, commencer à 15h et finir à 17h s'il vous plaît? Si c'est possible.
15h. Ok, tu vas aller quelque part?
Oui, c'est pour ça. Mais c'est pas grave si c'est juste au cas où. Mais...
Ok, 15h. Je vais voir. 15h, 2:30. Sure, oui.
Ok, d'accord. Bah, si c'est pas possible, dites-moi, c'est pas grave. C'est juste pour...
Non, c'est
Merci.
possible. D'accord.
Ok, bon, bah, au revoir.
Au revoir, bye.